Hello guys, it's Susanna here. I'm just doing a video on this felty project that I was telling you about, felt collage. So I've started doing it, and I thought I'll just get you step by step. I've got these kits, and on the back of the kit is my design that I've got on there. I don't know if I will do that sign. I've got autumn, but I've also got fall. Sort of get it so it's not so. I've got you know, mushrooms that you can trace and leaves, and I've even got a little fox and some what are these called, acorns. So this is what everyone gets in the kit. I might take it out because I may change it. I found bits and pieces since then. I don't know if you remember, I showed you a little while back in one of my hauls, I got this beautiful fabric with all these gorgeous woodland animals and all that kind of stuff on there. Well, I've picked out the birds, and most of them are like this. They're sort of a bit more over, you know, like some of them are these birds and some of them are these birds. You know, and I tried to add as much, you know, some had extra bits of leaves, but we're going to be making our own leaves. So most of them have got this one sitting that way, one sitting another way, but the colour just goes really, really well. So this project is going to be about colour and about texture. So everybody in the kit gets a backing piece. I'm just going to like this piece was a bigger piece like this. It was like that, which I've cut in half, and then this bit here was a bigger piece too, which I've cut in half again. And then I'll measure that. See, that was that. So that was quite a big bit, and it's quite thick. I'm trying to use sort of like wool, like felted wool blankety type stuff. I've gotten this, which is actually from, which I was in here. Everyone gets a big piece like that, which is from I think it's just Sheridan sheeting. But the colours just go really well. I love the background colour, and I love that. So I cut that out there like that because that just worked. You've got to sort of do it the way that you want to. Everybody gets I dyed this piece of fabric, and some of them have got like little, I dyed it and in coffee, and then sort of did a little bit of stuff to it, but not a great deal. And there was one bit in the corner that was like that, so I grabbed that piece. Everyone's got a piece this size, which is nearly 13 inches by 16, I think. I got it down. So what I've done is I've gotten a piece of you can get this at Spotlight, and it's sort of a, you know, you get it by the meter, the wool felt, which is what Corinne uses too. I've used this on my seasons pack. It says you can get it by the meter, which is so much easier. So I thought I'm going to get a piece that's bigger so that I can layer stuff over the top. So I've just cut it. I just cut it to sort of suit. So it's 15.5. Say if you want to do 15.5 wide by about 21 long. So if you want, you can make it the same size as this part, so you don't have to have it as big. And in the meantime of making up the kits, because they've all got these bits in there that I've shown you, I have see in this is that what I based the kit on was this, and also the fact that I had some Appletons which I've put aside, and I've gotten you know, colours that match it. This is gorgeous. This is really an antique piece of fabric. So everyone gets a piece that size, everyone gets a piece of this that size. Where are we? I've just put aside all my bits and pieces. Yeah, it's a big piece of this, big piece of that. Oh, here we go. Get a brown piece of that. That's going to use that for the acorn. And then this piece as well, that piece. This I was thinking of using something like that for maybe the mushrooms. And the pink goes well with the background of that. So I've just got, that's just a homespun. Oh, here's an extra little bit. I'm actually going to probably cut a leaf out with that, because it was just an extra little bit. So you don't get the pink. You know, everyone gets a bird of some sort. Initially I was going to just do my, you know, my little fox, and the bird is quite big, but you could probably, if you wanted to, tuck the fox a bit closer. So that's what everyone got in the kit, so the backing and everything. And in the meantime, I have gotten some bits and pieces from what's it called, Reclaimed Fabrics. So I had another piece. Everyone gets an extra piece like that, and I found some felt. So whether, you know, whether that goes or not, we can see. We'll just say they all get it. So I've got an extra piece of that. So there was one piece that would have been cut out, so I get that piece. So we get that, and then, so here's my bits, and some beautiful velvet. And so I've got enough for everyone else to have, you know, these size. So I've got to rehash the kits and do that. And not only we get all of that, but wait, there's more. I was looking through some of my bits and pieces, and I found these, and they are like a perfect colour to go in with the background and all that kind of stuff. So I've got a couple of boxes, so everyone gets 2 extra of these. So you get those plus those, because it's a different type of wool, but it doesn't matter, because, you know, this wool is really good. We can couch this on and all that kind of stuff. So there's enough for everyone to get another lot. And these are from France. I got them. They're quite, you know, they're old and they're good quality. So I sort of found them in, you know, cleaning up and all that kind of stuff. So everyone gets 2 of them. So there you go. You get quite a bit. So I'm going to be using bits and pieces. I also found this. I went to a thrift shop today, and I found some of this, and I might use this. So I might even see how much of this I use. You know, that can be, yeah, because it just goes. And I might wind this on a couple of these, because it seems to go really well with the bird. Yeah, so you get quite a bit. So I'll get 16 of these things out, or 15. I've got 15 kits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'll wind some of this onto there, because you don't need a lot. So got my work cut out for me. So there you go. There's what you get. And I'll just proceed at the moment, because I was going to do, you know, that layout that I had initially showed you, but I may do something different now, because I've got extra bits and pieces. And I got this from Purveyor of Textiles, whatever, as well. Isn't that gorgeous? And it works really well. I was thinking, you don't get that because that's all I've got of it. But you'll add your own bits and pieces. I was actually thinking that this might work really, really well for this mushroom. I'm thinking. And then I got, you know, go through the yo-yos that you've got, you know, so bits and pieces of yo-yos, and you might find something that is going to work. And I thought the red may very well be the perfect colour to do the yo-yo. So you you get these and you fold it over, or you cut them in half. You know, I can even do one like that as well. So this is just a guide if you want to use it. So I've done autumn for, you know, the Aussie girls, and I think English say autumn as well. And so for the American girls, there's the word fall, so that you can put that there. And I really love that saying, autumn is a second spring where every leaf is a flower. So this is going to be quite a big project. It's not going to be a short one. So, but it's all going to be about textures and layers and having lots of fun doing bits and pieces. How cool is that? I think that would be rather yummy. You know, cut that off there, and that can be added into it. I just saw it on the I got some of these sequency things, saves me the trouble of beading on that page. So without further ado, we are going to be see, there we go. So I'll just undo that one. That's one of the kits, and then stick these in the top, and so you get extras of these. I think that's pretty cool because I had them there. So seven skeins and a good array, and so it's thicker and the Appletons are thinner, and then even some of this, and then you'll use your bits and pieces. So now I've just cut this out fairly roughly, and I've put some Visifix, you know, heat and bond on the back of it. You probably don't need to do that, but I just did it just for this because, I mean, this sort of stuff is really good. It doesn't really fray. This may fray a bit, but by the time you do all the sewing and layering and all that kind of stuff, so I still may do the same. This, what we're going to do with this is we will cut out bits, and that's why I've got that, maybe even some of that wool, which is a really good colour. We can do some, you know, like some stitches and everything to hide the, you know, the cutting out part, because I think this is a linen. I'll see how we go with it. It may not fray too badly. I'll find out when we cut. So just move the mat out of the way for now, and then I'm just going to put that in the middle. Hopefully you won't get to see all of it, but you get to see a fair bit of it. And then we're going to be I had that tucked in the corner. I probably will, I'm going to leave it like that. Seems a really funny shape, but by the time we add all the different textures and stuff, I quite like that this has got a little bit of a tear in it. I gave that one to myself. I might put that underneath. So I'm just going to hang it over. And I've kept, see, that goes beautifully with that, so I could probably somehow work in the texture. This, I don't know, it's probably the, if anything's a little bit odd, but that works well with that. So I'm keeping these are going to be leaves that I cut out, and then I thought this might be nice to do the tops of the acorns, but rather than using the two of these, maybe I'll just use one, and I'll use this on the other side. Okay, I'll do, cut that, because I do like it. It is very nice. Okay, so what we're doing now is just sort of placing, oh, I don't know whether, is it easier that way? Can you see it more that way? Yeah, I think so. Okay, there we go. I have to admit it's been placing it sideways, but you know, and I had this underneath. I do like that this is on one side and then on the other. And then sort of have that going up like that. And I had, oh yeah, I had that piece there. Where's my other piece? Maybe I can do that like that. And then I think that piece was there. We could probably have a smaller piece going like that. And I quite like that it's not straight. I gave myself the odd bits, but I like it that they're a little bit on the odd side. So I want it to go like that. And then my main piece, which I will cut off a little smaller. So I'm quite happy with that basic layout for now. I think that should be okay by the time we cut out everything. I'm glad I'm using that little bit. So I want to leave the center a little bit empty so that, you know, we can do a bit of writing and stuff. And I don't mind that it's coming down a little bit. I might have that going down there, that going up. Okay, there we go. I think that works. I may end up having something over the top of that because that doesn't seem to work that well. So that's where these guys come in. These bits. I think these will be good leaf. Do you like this colour? I wonder if I put that underneath. A little bit. Oh. Actually, this piece, some of them, this have a little bit of purple in it, so that would go really nice with that. Maybe. I'm gonna cut it closer to the edge. No, I still do like it. I do like that there. And then the leaves may be coming in here. Maybe I can cut them and have that go in there and somehow get rid of that piece here. Okay, they seem a little weird, but that, I want that to cover that. Yeah, that's better. So I got a little piece of this. May use that, may not. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, because it's got the visor fix and everything on there, I'm going to cut this out sort of right on the line, and then I will stitch over it. So, you know, none too exciting you watching me do this, but you know, it's a process and a step that needs to be done. It's going to be gorgeous, that's all I know. Okay. You don't have to put the visor fix on there. That's just something I do. Yeah, probably don't need to do it. I'm just going to go over this because I'll probably stitch over that part, so you won't see that little piece. Okay. It doesn't matter if you see a little bit of it, it's all good. Just need to know where to place it. That's why I'm cutting it out, so that I can change and place these things. Very excited about this piece. It's going to be such a textile art creative piece. Been wanting to do something with wool for a while, because I've had that that wool textile book which I showed you in one of the videos of the vintage sewing techniques. I sort of gave you a quick flick through, and I've had that book for a while, and I've actually got a piece that I've worked on from that book. It's one of the like the massive big tree, and I wanted to do like a family tree thing, but I think I was being bitten off more than I can chew because it's massive. I still want to do it, but I just you tend to lose motivation. So doing something on this scale is a little bit smaller, and like, you know, maybe doing this might help encourage me to finish off that. I think it'll be really beautiful. And I've had these bits of wool which I've got in the kits. So, oh yeah, by the way, the kits are on my website, which is down below. You don't have to buy them. You can just gather your own bits and pieces. And that, what I've printed out, this, just a guideline. It's not, you don't even have to do all of that. So it's just a everyone gets that in their packaging. So this is, if you want to have something the same, you can get the kit. If not, you just use your own bits and pieces. That's okay too. But in saying that, it is really good value because you get a lot and pretty much everything you need to make it. I'll probably add a few bits and pieces of my own, maybe some beads, and you know, I've got wool, but we'll probably use some pearl cotton and, you know, stranded cotton as well, which everyone usually will have that. So yeah, this has been sort of sitting in the background and in my mind for a while, and then funnily enough, we're going to be doing a vintage sewing technique and having a felted collage, which is probably, well, it'll be a bit of wool and felt collage. So I can use some of the leftover bits from this, and I've got a bag full of felt. I love using felt and wool because it doesn't fray. It's awesome. So, okie dokie, well, we're getting there. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that layout. I do like the idea of having, you know, one of those as a mushroom. Those mushrooms are really easy to make with those vintage yo-yos. Quite easy. So I'm going to be, this probably wouldn't iron on to wool, but that's why I've got this piece here. I mean, it just happens to be that, and then this is like a, you know, a Collage sort of cotton sheeting that, you know, really 100% cotton, really good quality sheeting I got from a vintage market, and it was quite a bit of it, and so I dyed it. I thought it'd make an awesome base, so enough to do 15 kits anyway. So, well, 16 including mine. So actually, what I might do is I'll pause it because this is a little boring for you, and I'll be back. Okay, I am back again. I've just pinned that down, and I've cut out that which I'm going to be sticking just there. I haven't worried about cutting on the inside of there because it sort of blends in. It will probably eventually blend in when I try and cut it, but that's going to go down there, so that's covering that. And I've cut out this, cut that bit out. Whether I blend that in to go like this, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll turn it, maybe turn it sideways so you can see all of it. Maybe it's a bit hard to do, so that's the layout that I've sort of got at this point. What I want to do, so before I like peel this off and stick it on, I would like to do some sort of like running stitch, or you know, another stitch to hold that base down. So with these, oh, it's so hard to see it because it's so big. With this bits and pieces, we will be doing some cutting out of that, and I will be where are we? Got some. So what we're going to do, threads and bits and pieces. I even got some, like some sequins I got from Reclaimed Textiles, and then I probably might even stick on there as well. So we're going to get just some of this sort of stuff. Okay, what's it called? The baking paper, or just tracing paper. And so we will just trace out. So what I'll do with these is I'll cut out some of these bits and pieces and then sort of plonk them on, but that'll be done a little bit later. So I'm just, what we're going to do here, okay, here's this part, so you know that's that part, and then on the top of it, that's the other part, so that's one acorn. And then we're going to do and you don't have to worry about doing the other bits and pieces like that because that's stitched down. So there's another acorn, so I'm probably going to do a few bits and pieces, and then you know here's sort of like these pods things that we can do, and you know you trace out some leaves. Don't worry about that part again, just the shape, and then you cut these out. Just trace out some leaves because these are going to be bits that you add later to add a bit of dimension and texture. So I'm just giving you a bit of an idea of what you can do for your homework later. Here we go. Yeah, so that's, if you want, you just draw it on there just so you know, but you'll be cutting it. You refer back to that. And where are we? Probably going to do one of these. Actually, I might just do that. That's going to be separate, and then always make it a little higher, and then maybe this part here, we'll do a different colour. You might even use a bit of lace for that, and then I really do like the shape of this. So we are going to go just down a little bit and maybe a bit under that line. Top. And then this base part, going to be a different colour again. and those lines will be stitched on. Just base. Okay, so there you go, that's what you need for that. And whatever else you decide, some of the other leaves, bits and pieces. I like some of the shapes of some of these other leaves. So, you know, just cut, this is your homework. As well as placing your base. So I'll just do that there. Yeah. Okay, so, and yeah, place your base. Like you cut out this. It's just so you know where you want to put it. You know, you might have one that goes that way, so that'll be different and done that way. And you don't have to use the same colors. You've got quite an array of bits and pieces to choose from. Yeah, so I quite like that, how this has got this really nice reddy color that really brings out that autumn. Whether I choose to tuck that underneath, put it on the side, I think it's probably going to go there, both. Let's see how I go. I may leave that little bit and put something on there, but actually, there we go. If you are wanting to do this, before you pin and do everything else, you would go onto a light box, and you still need to do it anyway, just so you know the layout before you actually stitch everything down. And you get this piece and you trace with your, you know, your friction pen, the saying or whatever it is that you want to do on there. Do that first. So, and then if you have where you're happy with it, so do it with a friction pen to begin with, and that way when everything's laid out, if you don't like the placement, you can iron it off. Then once it's where you want to have it, I would probably put it in with a permanent marker, because you're going to be doing a bit of ironing and whatnot. So but I don't know, I'm thinking of, because this is sort of like, it's an autumn base, because in America and over, you know, England and all that, it's autumn right now, whereas in Australia it's not. We're in spring. But autumn is my favourite season because I just love the leaves and all that kind of stuff. But I might do something else. I was thinking of maybe doing like a scripture verse about birds, which will sort of make it more all year round rather than just based on autumn, even though I do love autumn. But and that is a really nice saying, but I just thought I'll leave it open for now. So I probably won't be doing that, but I love it enough that I've got it there. And I may even put this in my when I do the autumn seasons that I'm doing with Corinne. I'll just do it really small and maybe put that in there. I really like it. Okay, so where we're at the moment is, that's going to go away. I'm going to get out, so you've got all these bits and pieces, so you can use whatever colours you want. Just doing that. I love the way it's just just a little bit on the, you know, jaggedy side. So I am going to, where are we? Maybe some grey. I'm just wondering, do I do an invisible thread? Invisible stitch, or do it in something similar colour? I think I might just do an invisible stitch. So I'll start that. Is that long? Yes, we want something longish. Yeah, I'll just do a bit of an invisible stitch on the back, and then we'll stitch through it. I can always do a running stitch and you can see it, and then I untack it later, but at least an invisible stitch is you don't have to worry about unpicking it. So okay, yep. So what I'm going to do here with the invisible stitch, I'm just going to start it here and go down and just come up. This is where I usually add this. Just come up, go in next to it, make sure that you're grabbing all of it, because it is wool. It's wool on felt, and underneath there is see, this is just the wool on the wool felt, whereas when you get a bit closer here you'll have a few more layers, and then we're going to be adding more texture with extra wool. So I'm just stitching this down real basically. Getting that out of the way so you don't see it. There we go. I might even just go up here and hold that down. So you do get to see a little bit of stitching, but it's not very exciting. Where are we? Here I am. I might just go up here. You really don't see it. It's great. So this will probably be homework. Do a bit of a layout, stitch your bases down, and you know, that's the basic outside layout. And then we're going to be cutting up bits and pieces of this. Actually, while I've got you, before I you know, let's look, we'll have a look how it cuts. Whether it frays or not. It's actually not bad. I will leave a little bit of an edge just in case it does fray. I mean, it's very old. I'll get it a little bit closer to it later on. But this is the you know, bits that we're going to do a bit later, and choose to cut out what bits you want to put on. Okay, ooh, it's actually pretty good. It doesn't really fray too badly. Okay, we'll go along here. I know, yeah, because it's pretty good. That's good. And so we can probably come in a little closer. It is quite good stuff. I like it. See how we go, whether we decide to keep that long piece or not. I don't know. It's just a bit of anything at the moment. See that looks really good. Would look good on here. The colours just work brilliantly with it, or you know, along here. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to be piecing those pieces on top of there and then stitching in between. It's going to be quite a bit of work, but an enjoyable piece. So it's not going to be a quick project. It's just going to be something, might be ready for me for my autumn. But you know, you can do as much as little as you want. If you want to hang it up this year for this autumn, do a nice autumn piece for your autumn. Yeah, so this is quite a thick piece, this. So there you go. So that does cut up rather nicely. And if you want to, if you don't like this and you don't like this color, maybe you just incorporate that in there, because that's quite nice too. So it's up to you. You've got the bits and pieces there, and you can do it how you want to do it. Okay guys, well I will catch you in the next video. So this is called my autumn collage piece, and autumn fall collage, yeah, or autumn wool felt collage. There you go. I'll have a name by the time I put this up anyway. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy doing this project. And I must say the colours in real life are nicer than what they look through the camera. So where's my little birdies? I think they're so cute. They really add to it. So I wasn't going to do that, but when I've got that gorgeous fabric, I just thought, oh, that looks so good. See how just having that there just adds to it? And then you've got your little other bits and pieces that you'll stick in there. It's just going to be gorgeous. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.